Simon Stevenson takes us to Cold Spring Orchard in Belchertown tonight for a look at some unique apples being grown there, and perhaps a sneak peek of what we might expect from apple pecks this fall.
You know, when you think about apples, normally you think of the fall and red and orange green leaves and beautiful colours. Well, it's a beautiful spring day and all that apple growing has to start somewhere. We've come out to Cold Springs Farm at the University of Massachusetts, and joining us is Dr. Duane Greene. Doctor, how many acres are you farming here?
We have in production 35 acres. We could produce 50, but the farm totals about 215.
What kind of varieties of apple do you grow?
We grow a lot of them. We wouldn't have time for me to mention them all, but we have the traditional ones, but we grow many of the different ones. One of our research projects is, in fact, trying to identify some of these, and then we can test them on the public here.
This is not just an orchard, it's a research facility as well.
It is.
So what kind of research are you doing?
There's rootstock research, there's growth control research, there's pest management work.
Okay, so there's a lot of different things that are happening here.
There is.
Now what kind of trees have we got here? What kind of apples would these produce?
Well, what we see here are Gala and Fuji. Gala the first two rows, Fuji the last two rows. This is pretty typical of what a new orchard would look like in Massachusetts. They're planted about 3 feet apart, okay, and they'll be in full production in 4 or 5 years.
Okay, and it's not just apples that you produce here, there's lots of other fruit as well.
We have pears, we have plums, we have grapes. Those would be some of the other things that we do have available and we do sell at our stand in the fall.
Okay, so it's open to the public then?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. Well, we're going to go head down the hill and talk to another colleague of yours about some more of the operations that happen here at the orchard.
Yes.
Okay, let's go do that. Well, we've come down the hill to meet Joe Sincuk, who's the farm manager. And Joe, what kind of apple trees do we have around us?
Well, we have some really exciting varieties, some old varieties and some new varieties. We have a variety called Spy Gold, which is half Northern Spy and half Golden Delicious, and grows to a tremendous size. At harvest, this is a 3.5 inch apple, and it's excellent for baking. One row over, we have a variety called Hudson Jim, which was popular in the 20s, but because it couldn't be shipped well, didn't fare, and that apple is russeted and tastes a lot like a pear.
So you're finding that people are really looking for some of those hard to find varieties now. They're actually seeking them out.
And once they taste them, come back and say, what else do you have? I think they're realizing that the variety of flavor profile in the apple world is much more than they ever realized from the supermarket counter.
Sure, now this is a busy working farm, of course. You're farming year round and pruning in February and what have you, but you do a lot of tours, school tours and things like that?
We do school tours. Last year we brought 1,700 elementary kids in here. We introduced them to the concept that apples come from trees before they come from the bags in the store, and that insects are involved, and that apple orchards are actually really good places to keep open spaces and not have land around them filled with homes.
It sounds like a real interesting and very busy place. Joe, thanks ever so much for having us down here. And maybe if you're looking for something to do this fall, apple picking and fruit picking might be on your agenda as well. For Connecting Point, I'm Simon Stevenson.